and welcome to the P-Suite. That's right, I said the P-Suite, not the C-Suite. In the P-Suite, we all have a corner office, or a yurt, or a spare room, or a she shed. Any sacred place where we are cultivating our purpose, our passion, and our power. And I am interviewing amazing women who are doing just that. They have found a way, made a way, created a path to use their skills and talents and things that they love to do and work with people that they enjoy working with. And they are making some contributions to our community and the world. And my special guest today is Miss Katie Klute. So hello, Katie.
Hi. That was good. That's impressive.
I'm excited that you're here. Finally, we got together, and I'm just really excited. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about Katie, and then I'm going to ask her some interview questions or some questions. I met Katie about, I think a little over a year ago. I noticed that when I was looking on LinkedIn this morning that I had sent Katie a message on 2/10 of 15 that says, "Best coffee date ever." I just found that this morning. Aww. And that's exactly what I remember, is that it took us a while to finally connect. We had met somewhere in the community. And we had this coffee date and chatted it up, and just very inspiring. And now she has done well, she's been doing amazing things. Let me tell you a little bit about it, and then I'll ask her some questions. Katie is the CEO of the Recovery and Wellness Center of Eastern Washington, which just opened up recently, so we're going to ask her about that. And she's a certified health and wellness and addictions recovery coach. That's a lot of important things. And then Dane's probably going to join us off and on in the interview. And she is also the master of creating major events like expos, like big events. So she's very talented multitasker. And she has played a lot of important roles in the community, for example, Women Helping Women, which is where I met her. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing now. What's your role? What's your passion? Why are you there? Tell us a little bit about the center. Okay. And then I'll ask you about the path to that in the next question. Okay. But just kind of what you're doing now.
Okay. Right now, I am, let's see, August of 2015, I gained occupancy of the beautiful space that houses us. It's a 1919 house. What is that year? 1919 home. And in September of 2015, Erin came on as my clinical director, and we opened Recovery and Wellness Center of Eastern Washington, which is we just got our behavioral health agency license, which allows us to do individual therapy, group work, and then eventually we will do intensive outpatient programming. And right now our focus is eating disorders and other mental illnesses. So we see a lot of individuals with anxiety and depression, trauma. Our goal sort of down the road, maybe a year or two, is to add substance use. But so my piece is I'm the owner / CEO / receptionist and marketing and everything that goes with it. Yeah, janitor.
All of the above.
Yeah. And I just am in love every day. Every day I get to go to this amazing house that has some pretty amazing energy in it. It does. And work with Erin, who also brings energy. Yeah. And so I love it.
Oh, yeah. She loves it. She gets to do it every day.
I do.
Yay! Yeah. I'm so excited. Thank you. So tell me a little bit about how you got there, a little bit of walkthrough, just some of the things that you've done. I know this has been in your heart for a long time. So some of the things you've done along the path that have helped get you there, maybe you didn't even know they helped, but just a little bit about your path.
Okay. Well, I was thinking about this morning when I was outside. So we'll just start like ancient times.
I was going to say, in kindergarten?
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, you're right.
Sometimes that's where our dreams are, placed. So.
Yeah, so when I was trying to figure out, okay, what is she going to ask me and how am I going to answer? Okay, so when I was in 2nd grade, I met my very best friend at that time, Lindsay Reese. Oh, and her and I used to buy office supplies and files, folders, and we would create these clients. And we would have pretend phone calls. I mean, I'd go to her house, she'd come to my house, and we'd have these like pretend office days, and clients would come in, we'd take notes, and we'd write a receipt. And so there was all of this, sort of fantasizing about real world, and we had them in a file cabinet. And so
fantasizing, but you took action. You were
well, yes and no, yeah. So yes. So at that time, I thought, I really want to be a professional woman in a skyscraper. That was my dream. Okay. I always saw myself in a skyscraper. Wanted to be there. Okay. And I think as life goes, we sort of evolve and we go, I mean, I think there was still like this hidden, I want to be in a skyscraper. And I want to be a professional woman. But I was a teenager, and so maybe I wanted to be an anesthesiologist, and then maybe I wanted to do this, and then I went to school for part-time to go into nursing, and so I've sort of dabbled everywhere. Wonderful. Nursing is probably something on my bucket list, that if I could ever go back and do it, I would do it. Wow. But, well, thank you. So, but also along the lines of life, I ended up with an eating disorder. And I share this only briefly in saying that therein lies the piece of me that had a desire to start something. So I had horrific years, 10 probably plus horrific years, and had this aha moment at one point and thought, okay, wow, there's got to be something more to life than this. And had a significant amount of treatment, and just decided that I could continue down this road, or I could do something different with my life, and really felt passionate about helping others that are in the same situation. And while I would never wish an eating disorder on anyone, I think mine was purposeful. And I don't say that about a lot of things, but
purposeful meaning
purposeful, like you have this and you will do something with it. And so I fought that for a long time, and just decided at some point that I just needed to do this. And so in 2009, I started the Tri-City Center for Eating Disorders, which was a nonprofit organization, and thought, you know, I'm going to conquer the world. Well, I quickly learned that we don't have a lot of resources here. I mean, we have some outpatient therapists, but we don't have like hardcore, concrete, let's do some treatment and help this person to not relapse. And so,
so would they, would they, somebody that had an eating disorder have to go out of the community at that time to get treatment, and then when they got back, they didn't have lots of work? Okay.
Yes. So we were sending people, they were coming to me, and I was saying, well, I have an outpatient therapist, but what you really need is inpatient, so we send them to Seattle, similar to now. So let's send them to Seattle, send them to Portland. And what we really needed in the community was the intensive outpatient programming piece, where the person can step down from a higher level of care, transition home, back into real world, and be able to do that successfully without a relapse. So, so I wined and dined the big treatment facilities, thought, oh, I'm just going to have somebody expand here, it's going to be awesome. And I did. I wined them and dined them. They came over. I would tour the area. I would say, this is why we need you here.
See how dynamo-she is.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that. And relentless. And you know, in the end, it was always, you know, you don't have the economic stability that we need, or you don't have a college, or you don't have a big enough stream, or you don't have, you know, this, that, or the other thing. And so, long story short is eventually I just thought, this is something that I clearly need to do. And I started the process a couple of years ago and kind of hit a wall, and then started and then hit a wall, and I finally figured out that I needed to stop hitting the wall and start powering through the wall. Okay. And
so it's kind of like wall, stop,
right,
go out,
right.
Okay,
all the things we tell our clients is, what's your obstacle and why are you going?
Right?
Yeah, how do we get around that?
That's right. We all got it.
Yeah, and so I said, practice what I preach. And so I just had, I'm not telling you, I'm kidding you, I had an immense amount of anxiety and trying to figure out what am I supposed to be doing, and calling friends and crying and what am I doing, you know, blah, blah, blah. And the moment I said, I'm doing this, and I took a step forward, it was like, no anxiety. Everything has aligned. My space is exactly what I wanted. I have an
get the goosebumps.
Incredible landlord that's a, you know, blessing, and he's a gift, and he's helped with everything. So it's been amazing.
That first step, and then some of that anxiety. I can just visualize that it just kind of all went
It did. It was crazy. It was like, oh, I can sleep now. Although I'm back to not sleeping, but I can sleep now.
Yes. Well, now new ones and a new wall, and that's okay, because that's what life is about. Well, thank you. Now, you kind of covered some of my questions, but when you were going along the way, what skills or what knowledge or what training, what did you realize you needed, and then what did you go get?
I'm going to answer probably incorrectly, but
you just do it real.
So I think I know that I was a person, and probably still am today, a little bit of the person that feels like I don't have enough education, or I'm not enough,
We hear that a lot.
Right. Or yes. Yeah, I loathe and am fearful of the person that says to me, so what's your background? Because I've learned now to say, I don't have background. You know, I never got a college degree. I did eventually get, like you said, the health and wellness and the addiction piece because I really wanted to work with the clients, and I felt like I needed to have. Right. Okay. Yeah. So I felt like I had to have something so that when somebody said, well, what's your background? I could say, well, I'm certified. Yeah. And I've taken continuing education, and I've gone to, conventions and conferences and seminars, and I've done a lot of monetary spending. I want my kids to have a degree, right? Because that's where we are in the world now. Is that in order to get a good job, you need to have a degree. And so, that is something that I wish I would have done. But in looking back, it is certainly not something that I needed in order to fulfill my purpose.
So what I hear from so many people, including myself, is I need to have this, I need to get this, I need to be qualified, I need to be credentialed or credible. So I have to get this job, or I have to get go to this school or this training. And we want that even for our kids, but you are walking, living proof that you don't have to have all of that. Mm-hmm. I mean, you found other ways, and that's some of the skills, but you also learned the skill of being relentless. So, I mean, that's a whole different skill that I don't even think they teach in college. Right.
And I have real life experience, and so, it's interesting how many times we'll have a client come in and they'll say, nobody knows how I feel. I have no idea, and I certainly don't disclose information all the time, but if it feels like it's right, I will say, I do know. Yeah. I do know what it feels like. Mm-hmm. And suddenly there's like this,
trust and credibility. Yeah. I've been there, and that you can't get in school, or college either. So we talked a little bit about this. My question was, do you have bumps, stumbles, blocks, and fears, and how did you keep going? Who said you could do it? Who said you couldn't? What was it that made you go through those walls? What's your...
I think it's a combination. I have a husband who is an unbelievable human being and supports anything and everything that I do, and I think his continued cheering, and you can do this, and it's one step at a time, and reminding that it's not a sprint. It's just sort of,
keep going.
Let's just keep doing this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I have a massive family who's so awesome, and I have friends like you that sit in coffee shops, and we, talk about. I almost said the shit, but maybe that's not.
We talk about the shit
stuff. Yeah, but the reality is, in my opinion, in order to fulfill your purpose and your passion in life, you have to believe you personally can do it, and you have to get out of your own way.
Yeah.
And you have to create this idea and this drive that you are going to hit walls, and you are going to hit obstacles, and you're the only one that can knock them down. You can ask for support, you can call Lifeline, phone a friend or whatever, but you're the only one that can keep moving forward.
Wow. Very good. And when you do...
Yeah.
It just feels so good and so right. So, wow, I'm just so impressed. Still impressed. Always impressed.
Thanks.
And encouraged. And it's inspiring. And that's why I want to share in these interviews that we do get those blocks and those, challenges. But I think that what you said about, you really are the only one. And accepting that they're going to come. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a different, a different mindset than when the first one comes. Maybe I should do something different. Right. I mean, that's when the seeds of doubt start to...
Yeah. Well, and looking at it in a different way, instead of saying, this is a wall, look at it as this is a challenge, or, how can we get creative? And, I think we approach life in such a negative mentality that we go, there's another wall, instead of saying, okay, let's do this.
Yeah,
let's figure out how to get around this. Yeah.
What are we going to learn from it? What's it going to teach? And a lot of times it makes a better product, if you look at your, your first wall and then no, and then your second wall and no, and now you have this house and the energy and Aaron and you're loving it, and maybe that wouldn't have been the path if you wouldn't have kind of bounced around those other walls. So it's all a great thing and a different way of looking at it. Okay, so what's next for you in the Recovery Center or life? Or family or whatever. What's new? What's the next? Not new. What's the next thing coming down?
I keep thinking I'd like to go to Hawaii.
I'm with you. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
A ski retreat in Hawaii.
I think with Recovery and Wellness Center, every day is new and interesting. We're going through the credentialing with insurances so that we can, take insurance and get the intensive outpatient program going. Right.
That's no small task.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, and Erin and I are both aligned very well in that we both see. First of all, we're both very service driven, and so, but we also see further down the road that there are many things that we want to do within wellness and recovery and wellness. But probably up close and first is we're going to do some street-based mental health clinics.
Excuse me for just a second. Dang, come over here and be part of the pack and not do the barking thing because she's got some really important things to say. So gentle. There's a lot of energy in this room. You girls are like up here.
Can you sit? Sit down. You can sit, and I'll pet you. Good boy. Okay. Yes. So we want to get into the schools, and we are also because we're both service driven and because we're private. We're not owned by a gargantuan corporation. We are Erin and I. We get to service the onesies and twosies. We really look at each person that comes through the door as a unique individual with a unique treatment plan. And we do not turn anyone away because of inability to pay. So we do some pro bono work. We also take, the insurance and everything. So we get to be and we get to create what we want it to be and create. So we don't know what's around the corner. Maybe we'll create it, or maybe it'll be like a surprise. Yeah. And we will just say yay, or
does it fit? Does it fit our heart and what we love, or is it get that wonky feeling and you say no, that's not a.
And there was a time when I first started this whole thing that I was bound and determined to take ownership. It was like I was on this ego-driven path, and I was reading my devotion one day, and I realized that is so not the person I want to be. And
good,
and it's not the person I am. And so I kind of took a step back and thought, okay, no, wait a minute. What is Recovery and Wellness Center? I mean, yes, it's a treatment center, but I am very service driven, and so my take now is I want that space to be a place where people can come and get treated, but I also want it to be a place where Erin can say, I've always wanted to do blah blah blah, and for me to be able to say, then utilize this space and do that. I want to have new therapists come on and say, in fact, we just interviewed another therapist the other day, and she said, I've always wanted to blog, I've always wanted to be in the schools, I've always wanted to do this and this, and I want her to come and have this space be a place where she can be a therapist, because she loves it, treat people because that's what we do, but also to say, I'm going to blog, so I'm going to blog. I want to be in the schools, so we're going to find a school for her to be in. So I want it to be
so it's like a little dream incubator, as well as a wellness recovery, but it's a little dream incubator.
I told Erin, come on. I said, we're going to be in the Forbes, top 100 places for women to work, because it's going to be so fantastic, because it's going to be like, Dreamweaver.
Incubator. Oh, I love that. Okay, I'm coming over. I'm going to work with dreams. I'm going to have my own dream. And the energy in the building is just so fantastic and so comfortable. Yes, he's picking it up too. What advice do you have? And then I have some fun questions.
Okay.
What advice do you have for others that to help them clarify or decide or take that first action? What advice? Someone saying, I really want to do my thing, but I don't know. And what advice would you have?
Okay, so this is really timely.
Give it to them straight.
Yeah, this morning I was doing my devotion, and I have the Holy Bible. I'm a God lover. I'm a God girl. And I have the little Bible app. But then I, got done with what I was doing, and I thought, I'll flip over to Facebook and see what's going on. So there is, and I would encourage
the other Bible.
Anyone, anyone to get on to, Google it, I guess. But Steve Harvey, before one of his Family Feud episodes, stands in front of the audience and he talks about jumping into your life.
Oh.
And I thought, okay, that's what we need to do. Because we are all, and I truly believe this, we are all put on this earth for a purpose. And your purpose might be to do what you're doing in connecting and writing and being a coach and a facilitator and all the amazing things that you do. Your purpose might be, to be a mom, to be a hairdresser, to be an engineer, whatever your purpose is, our only job is to do that. Is to say, this is my purpose, and I'm going to do that. And the only way to do that, as Steve Harvey has said, and I think he's my new best friend, is you need to jump in. You need to stand on the edge of life, and you need to say, I'm either going to jump and pull my parachute and do this, or I'm going to jump and hit the bottom. But you need to jump.
But I'm going to jump.
Wow. And it's scary. And you will question yourself, and others will question you. But I think the moment I decided that this was my purpose and I'm going to fulfill it, it's like, it's been good.
And I feel like it's timely for me in terms of I'm writing a blog about passion, the P-suite, the passion, the purpose, and the power. And you know, we've spent so much time looking for our purpose, and I think in what you just said is what I'm discovering is that your purpose is just showing up and being you. So it's identifying what you like to do. Do you like to garden? Do you like to engineer? Do you like to work with people in an intimate recovery scenario? Then that's your purpose. Right. You, whatever you like, is your purpose. Right. So jump in what you like. I mean, it would be crazy to jump into something that you hate, that you don't like, and that brings you down. And I mean, that's not your purpose. So finding your purpose is like, you know, look within. It's what you like. It's what you love to do. And so jump in. Now I got to go watch this video. So we might put that on the blog as we'll find that video really so that you can watch the jump in.
Well, and I think the reality too, and what we have to remember is the reality in that, you know, we can look at people, our friend Peggy Vasquez is an example of somebody that you look at and you go, I want to do that. I want to be like her. I want to go to Dubai and stand in front of thousands of people and speak. I mean, you know, but the reality is, if you were to sit with Peggy, she'd probably say, I hit some walls and I kept going. And so, you know, I think we as women, first of all, have lists upon lists of things that we have to do. But we also second guess ourselves, or we hit a wall and we go, well, maybe that's not what something is supposed to do. And you know, life is hard. We will hit walls, but if it's your passion and you want to do it, then keep doing it. Figure out a way to get around.
There's your advice. Jump and know that you're going to hit a wall.
Via Steve Harvey.
Just keep going. So here we go.
Okay, my first job.
Your first job.
Okay, so actually originally my dad was the general manager of a grocery store.
Wow.
And that was during the time where you could, and I can't even remember, I think probably during that time I thought, I will never forget what this is called, and now I can't remember. But you could buy just the soda water, like sparkling black water, and then there were like 20 different flavors that you could choose from. So I was the girl that gave them their 2-liter, and then they put the flavors in.
Wow, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah,
you know, I grew up in a small town, and we didn't have that.
So did we. So that was
Wow. Yeah, I worked in a grocery store. That was one of my first jobs too. I faced all those. You know, cans forward. Okay, this is about you.
Okay.
Weird job. Something that we might be surprised that you had. I mean, you know,
I was a flight attendant.
You were?
I was.
Oh my gosh. So I think back to what you were saying about, you know, when you were in 2nd grade and you had this friend and you guys set up shop and you know, if you see my eyes going somewhere, it's because I am like thinking things while you're talking.
That's right, me too.
And I was thinking, when I was little, we played school at home all the time. And, you know, I'm a little bit country. So I did that with my friend Shelley. And, but I taught school and I love teaching. And so I think God places those dreams in our heart. And no kidding.
I don't know why you placed a family. Well, I do know why you placed the flight attendant, but anyway.
So that was a weird one. But the whole, you guys setting up shop with your file cabinets or your, you know, your file folders and stuff. And that dream of being this professional women, which I feel like I'm sidetracking a little bit, but this is such a fun interview and such a fun person. So we're talking about, you know, working in the, what do you call it, the skyscraper and the professional woman. And Katie and I first chatted about, God, we love wearing jeans. So I was thinking, wait a minute, we also love jeans. And so isn't that interesting that you have this skyscraper thing, and can't we just wear our jeans?
That's right.
You know,
and we do at Recovery and Wellness Center. It's like, wear your jeans.
It's so comfortable.
Let's be real.
It's so nice. Anyway, that was another flashback. But so I also wanted to be a flight attendant. When I was growing up, my best friend was going to be a pilot. I was going to be the flight attendant, and we were going to travel the world. So
there you go.
When were you a flight attendant?
Right out of high school, I went to travel school, and I grew up in Kashmir, and so at that time I think the population was like 2,500 people, and so we were all a little bit horrified when my place that I was based out of was JFK New York.
Yeah.
So I lived in Queens for not very long. I lived with 11 people in a 3-bedroom townhouse, and so it was with other flight attendants. So we just kind of rotated through, and I hated every second of it.
Okay, well, you are not lighting up like you were when you were talking about the recovery center. Oh, that is so funny. All right, what about, okay, this one's, I wouldn't say laser, but important. What's your definition of success?
Oh.
I know, easy question, right?
I think success, let's see, let me think about that. I guess what first came to mind is I think success is what we make it. It's your definition of success is different than my definition of success because our successes are different. But again, I think it goes back to living your purposeful life. I think being authentic. I think living by integrity and again, service and, appreciating that there are, however many billions of people in this world, and if we all have an individual purpose, then we must love and support each person. I think we get caught up in the societal things of jealousy and hate and vindictive and, we're competitive, and there's just a lot of world, and we can each, do what we want. So, I think success is unique to each person.
Right. I love it. I love it. See, I love her. I love it. All right. One thing that's kind of on a bucket list that you want to do before you die. Fun, serious.
Well, I said get a nursing degree. I don't know the reality is of that. Let's see.
There's that as a possibility.
Okay, here's I really, really, really would like to hike the Pacific Crest Trail.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
We might just start a conversation.
Yeah.
That's a little bit on my bucket. That's weird.
Yeah, I would really like to do that. Point to point. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Makes me smile.
What, Katie? My last question is: what makes your smile leave your face or butterflies in your stomach? What really?
Wow.
Lights you up?
My kids. I love my boys. How many boys? I have 2 boys. Dylan is almost 22. Gulp. And Alex is 17. He graduates this year. Yeah. My husband. I think my husband is pretty incredible.
And his name was
John.
Okay. John, the rock star husband.
And I will say, I will give a shout out to him, and I will tell you that there were many times that I said to him, I don't know why you are still here. You should have left me a long time ago. And he just kept plugging on. So, yeah, pretty amazing. Yep. And my dog. I love my schnauzer.
He's a schnauzer? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. And what's his name?
Quincy.
Quincy?
Yeah.
The schnauzer.
But I have 2 incredible parents. My mom and dad are both 81. They've been married for 61 years. Wow. And I have 6 siblings, 5 brothers and a sister. And my smile leaves my face a lot
with them. Yeah. Yes. I see that a little bit because, I stalk you on Facebook a little bit. But what did I not ask that you want to talk about? What,
nothing. That was good.
That was good?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will share the website to your Wellness and Recovery Center, and hopefully we'll find that Steve Harvey and any other
shut off over there.
We'll just go this way.
Okay.
Any other things that you want to plug, we'll put on the blog and we'll send it out. But it has just been an honor to have you here, and I'm just lucky and blessed to have you as a friend. And
after 2 attempts.
That's our mojo. I think it took us a while to get coffee, and so that's okay. But I am really glad that you're here, and you are an inspiration to me and to other people. So thank you for being on my blog and my interview show.
Yeah.
So
go Danette.
Go Danette.
Yeah,
go Katie.
go.
And go Pacific Trail, baby.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Danette Layne, and we're signing out from the B Suite. Thank you. Okay, now ahead. Oh.